Hey guys, long time no see, right? So let's get to it. I'm going to be talking about my favorite setting powders. So we'll start with, this is in no particular order, the Kimchi Chic Beauty Puff Puff Pass. And they're this size. I have them in a few shades, but let me tell you, this is one of my, obviously I'm talking about my favorite powders, but this is so stinking good. Like, first of all, it sets well. I have it on right now in the shade Suntan. As you can see, it's like a warm color because I have tanned within the past few weeks. But anyway, it sets well, keeps your makeup in place the whole day. I have cried, sweated, from going to the gym or just being hot. Did not budge. This is another shade I have, Banana, so it has like a slight yellow tint. They also have a no color powder, which is called That White Powder. And I highly recommend. Second is, I'll probably do a separate video about this, but it's by MAC. It's their Studio Fix Pro Set and Blur. And I have the shades Light. Let's show the front. Light and Translucent. So this is more, this also sets, but it's also like for mattifying. So on my oily girls or, combo oily girls, this would be a good one. But this is also very, very good. It has the skin looking like skin. Like right now, I look very matte. It's not gonna give that finish, but it still sets. It holds everything in place. And I was very surprised because I started off with MAC and I feel like I've come full circle. Like I'm back with MAC and I've been loving their products lately. But the powders, they really surprised me because I was just like, wow, it does what it came to do. Okay, next is One Size Beauty by Patrick Starr. The powder is the first product that I ever bought from his company, and I loved it. I bought the translucent shade because they only had, at the time, translucent and deep dark shades, right? So, almost 2 months ago, he came out with 2 new shades called Sweet Honey and Ultra Pink. Sweet Honey is perfection. I love the formula itself. It does blur. Another powder that sets and, well, that's not what I meant to say. It's another powder that holds you down in terms of sweat. It lasts all day. Like if you want like a super high performance product, just like the Puff Puff Pass from Kimchi. Like Kimchi is a more affordable option, but this is a good option too, a great option actually. I rotate based on what I feel like wearing or my needs for the day, but that I recommend that powder too. So all my olive girls, I recommend Sweet Honey. You can get translucent too, but the pink one I like. I think it would probably work more for me now because I find that when I was using it, well, it's great, number one. Maybe I need to work with it some more, but I found that it kind of darkened my concealer a bit versus making it pink. I mean, it was pink, but it was just a darker pink. But now I think it would be like that perfect pink for me. So I do recommend the pink for darker shades. Okay, next is Laura Mercier. I mean, this has been around for a long time. This particular one is the Ultra Blur. It's one of the newer powders. I mean, it is a newer powder, sorry. But I like the regular one too, the original one in Translucent Honey. This is also in Translucent Honey. And I wish that shade came out a long time ago. Like it was just translucent and then they released the dark deep or the dark shade and then they released this one. But this is what I was looking for. I needed a nice yellow powder because the translucent one, it's nice, but I felt it can run a little ashy on me, but that's just me. Okay, next is Givenchy, which is their Prisme Libre powder. This is quite unique to me out of all my powders because it has 4 shades in the one powder. There's actually 5 or 6 shades altogether. So it covers all skin tones, but it's like a color correcting and also blurring powder. But it is this is one of the, actually it is my most expensive powder. But it's worth it. Like if you want to go luxury, go with this. It has the skin looking so nice. Being that there's several shades, it won't have you looking ashy if you buy the right shade. But I also have it in the shade Voile Rose, and it's the pink powder, but it's so nice under the eyes. Now, for those of you who had a problem with the Ultra Pink by One Size, you might want to go with this one in terms of like the light, how light and how dark it is. It's just so fine and it just looks so pretty. It's just a pretty powder. It's totally worth it to me. And I'm sure others can agree too. Next is Huda Beauty. Now this is also a fave of many. It's very good for oily skin, combo oily skin. I love the shades personally. I have the shade Blondie, and it's yellow, as you can see. She has like a few yellow shades. She has Blondie, Banana Bread, and even the darker shades. Like there's one that's really warm, but I like that they all have some kind of like tinge of yellow. And then there's some that actually are pink, like that Cherry Blossom one. That's a good option too. That's a good option too for pink powders. I do like it, but it also gives me like a nice smooth finish, and it performs well. And I personally love the scent. I know fragrance bothers people in terms of like products that we put on our face, and I agree. Like even though I do like fragrance, it's not the best idea in reference to like sensitivities or potential allergic outbreaks or breakouts. But I personally love the scented stuff, so that's just me. Okay, and next is Hyde. Now this is a company, I found this either on TikTok or Instagram. I believe it was Instagram, but I was curious about the brand altogether. So come to find out, I love this powder. I bought it in the shade Translucent Honey. Listen, when it comes to setting powders, especially for those of us who have olive skin or very yellow, anytime you see the word Translucent Honey, you know it's for you. It's gonna have a good yellow shade. This is another fine powder. Very nice. This will hold you down too. If you're more into like the vegan, clean beauty stuff, this is one of the brands that's into that. So, but it's very nice. It has 3 shades, but I think the 3 shades are sufficient for the range of skin tones that they have in terms of the foundation line. But this powder is really, really good. I almost forgot about it because I've, being a makeup hoarder, child. But yeah, good powder, very good powder. Next is Makeup Forever's HD Matte Setting Powder, or Ultra HD Matte Setting Powder. So I have it in a few shades. Now, when I bought it the first time, I didn't really like it. I don't know why. Like I felt like it looked weird, but I think I just wasn't using it properly, and I decided to give it another go. And they were also selling these. Well, they had a really good deal too on Sephora. Like if you buy them, you get like 4 times the amount of points that you would normally get. So I was like, let me rack up, and I love it now. It's so good. This is the shade 3.0, and it's beige, golden beige. So that's another key. Like if you're looking for powders that suit your olive and yellow skin tone, real yellow, not orange yellow, look for shades, like I said, Translucent Honey, look for golden beige, banana. Like those are the shades that would work out for your skin tone. It won't have you looking orange or too warm, unless you're going for a warm look, which is fine, because especially if it's summertime, you want to like tone down your foundation shade because you can't really afford a darker one at the moment. I recommend going with a darker powder. So this is really good. And it also comes with, I didn't bring it with me, but it's also a powder puff comes with it, which I thought was really cool. And I love the packaging, by the way. So it looks like that. Same thing with One Size Beauty. They have the same similar packaging. I really appreciate that because it just decreases the amount of mess that could happen. Same thing with MAC. MAC has a similar one. They also have a powder puff, and then you pull up the lid, and it's just great. I'm glad that the brands are getting smarter with this. Yes. And last, I feel like this is an underrated powder. I know people have been talking about it, but I feel like it should get a little bit more love than it has been. So that's Fenty Beauty's setting powder. This is another great option for those of us who have olive and yellow undertones, okay? Banana is a great shade. I use this for under my eyes. Sometimes I use it around on my entire face, depending on how light I am. You know, if I didn't get that much sun, that can work for me. But if I did get a little bit of sun, I would use the shade Honey. This is a great yellow powder. And if you want to go a little lighter than Banana, there's the shade Butter. So that's the lightest yellow tinged shade. But I think darker than Honey is Hazelnut. That's also a nice yellow shade for even deeper skin. And then they have darker shades than that. But it's another fine powder. I feel like it makes my skin look so smooth. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't remember if this has a scent or not. Yes, it does. But it's not strong. It's not as strong as Huda Beauty's, but it's a nice balance. And I recommend it, and it has good coverage too. Yeah, I'm really feeling those powders. These are the powders that they have been in my rotation for a while. So I definitely recommend those powders. If you have any more questions, you can comment below, and hopefully that was helpful, informative, entertaining, whatever. But yeah, those are my favorite powders, and thank you for watching, and stay tuned for future videos.